Estimados alumnos, buenas noches. Gracias por acompañarme. Gracias Juan, Adamari, Tavo, Sharai. ¿Me escuchan? Te extraño, ¿no? Por si no fuera poco todavía el tema del virus. Pues bueno, hoy tuvimos otros eventos, así es que hay que estar alerta, hay que cuidarnos, hay que valorar lo que tenemos, porque bueno, nunca sabemos qué va a suceder. Hoy con este asunto en la Ciudad de México, en Oaxaca, que estuvo bastante fuerte, ¿no? También me comentaron que en Guerrero también se sintió muy fuerte, me dice Tavo. Y bueno, sí, me da mucho gusto que estén bien, espero que sus familias estén bien. Hay que cuidarnos. Gracias por acompañarme en esta noche a pesar de pues todas las circunstancias que estamos viviendo en este momento. Más adelante vamos a hablar de esto, incluso en español, para ser un poquito flexible en el tema de los tiempos. Vamos a platicar sobre este aspecto, ¿no? Pues nuevamente muchas gracias. Saben que nuestra sesión va a ser en idioma inglés, pero nosotros podemos estar escribiendo en el chat y podremos tener intervenciones también en idioma español para que todo quede muy claro en esta última semana de nuestro módulo 6, en el cierre de nuestro módulo, y que además del proyecto integrador pues tengamos muy claro los tiempos de cierre, todas las actividades que debemos llevar a cabo en esta semana 4, ¿de acuerdo? Muy bien, muchas gracias. Welcome to the last week of our Model 6, My World in Another Language. You already know our group, and this is the final week of our Model 6. The order of this session, we're going to review the object of this session, the performance indicators of this week 4, the review of the project of the format of the integrative project, how to participate in the integrative forum, the suggestions for successful closure for Model 6, closing times, additional resources, and finally a space for doubts. The object of this session is that we're going to review the indications of the integrative project to develop in week 4 with suggestions and examples. We will talk about the closing suggestions for Model 6. What about the performance indicators of this last week? We have the integrative project, as you already know. It has an important value of the total of the model, the 30%. It's titled My Personal Blog, and we're going to review it step by step in a minute. We also have the self-assessment, is the 5% of the total of the model. It's just a reflection for the through the path of our Model 6. It's a questionnaire, and we have to do it to achieve the 5% of this activity. The social-emotional activity, we have to answer one questionnaire with our tutor to achieve the 10% of the total of the model of this part of the social emotional activities. We also have the form activities, 2 of them of this last week, introducing ourselves and finding the answer. And the forums, we have 2 forums in this last week. The integration forum or the integrative forum that is titled Making Online Friends. It's evaluated according to a rubric, is the 8% of the total of the model. And we're going to talk about in this session how we're going to participate in this space. And we have our traditional learning forum of this final week that we're going to share the knowledge of the English, the importance of speaking in another language. It could be the English language or any language. So we're going to speak about these topics in the learning forum on this last week. Okay, so we have the project, and we're going to check out before that my suggestions that are located in the news forum that you already know, that are in the news forum also in Spanish and in English. This that I'm showing right now is in English, but you have this suggestion, these instructions step by step also in Spanish, so you can review it in a very quick way reading about it. So I explained this, that the purpose of these activities of the last week is to strengthen the learning acquired throughout the previous 3 weeks, which is why it's called the integration week. So we have personal blog to introduce ourselves and provide information about our city and the activities that can do out there. So we're going to remember the knowledge acquired, that all the topics that we saw of the Model 6. So here I'm saying SB that we're going to review it right now. 130 minutes, we can use it all we already know, that we saw the tutorial on the first week with Bukaru, or as you already know how to do it, how to record your audios. The suggestion here always is to share correctly the permissions for the link, so in order I can hear it clearly, your recordings. Okay, the form activities, the integrative forum, that we're going to check it out in a minute, the self-assessment, the social-emotional activity, autorregulación emocional, and the learning forum that I already said about it, that we're going to identify the learning achieved and the areas of opportunity, giving feedback to our partners about the benefits of learning English. So this is in the news forum. Thank you, Alicia y Kirena, for joining me. Thank you. So, file of our project. So as you know, you have the file in Word in the instructions of the project. We have to download the file that we're going to mention some main activities that other people can do in our city. And we're also going to present ourselves, okay? So the first part of my blog, it's going to be about me. We're going to present my personal information. So we already know this information, we already have it, because we developed this on the first activity, my curriculum vitae. Do you remember this, right? So we're going to review this information that we already have it in the activity, and it's a start that asking me what is your name. Only that I have to say it in this part and all the file of the project, that I have to write down complete answers, complete sentences. Like in the example I'm writing down at the moment, what is your name? My name is Maria Fernanda Prado Ibarra, okay? How old are you? I am 31 years old. Okay, so I'm writing down complete sentences, complete answers to the questions of each section of my project. Number 3, what do you look like? This is a very recurrent question in the messenger of the platform. When I say how do you look like, it refers at my physical appearance. Okay, brown already, I have it red here. Okay, so I'm going to describe myself. What do you do? I'm a lawyer, I'm a student, I'm part worker, maybe, okay? So I'm going to describe my profession, that we already saw it on my curriculum vitae on the first week. What is your marital status? I am single, I am married, I am widow, okay? We already saw this vocabulary on the first week. Who do you live with? I live with my family, I live by myself, I live with a brother, a sister, or my grandparents, only my son, for example, okay? So we're going to describe this in this first part. The 7th question asks me, who is your favorite family member? So in order to write down a complete sentence, I'm going to write down like this. My favorite family member is my mom, my son, my father, my sister, my brother, my uncle. It could be anyone, okay? So we're going to make sure of using the vocabulary of week 1 that we already saw, vocabulary S1, on the platform. Where are you from? This is a very recurrent question also. This question refers of where I born, or I born in Guadalajara, but currently I live in La Ciudad de Mexico, for example, okay? So I can answer I saw Guadalajara, maybe, okay? So when the question asks me, where are you from? It means where I born or where I live right now, okay? Okay, what nationality are you? I am Mexican, of course. We already saw this part actually on the first week. Okay, and the part B of my project, that this part is the section that I'm going to record in my audio, only this part B, section B, and I'm going to answer every question that is located right here, because it's the first entry of my blog, the first blog post, okay? Once again, I'm writing down complete answers. The second question, how is your shopping centers or whatever is very pretty for me, very beautiful, okay? What places are there in your city? In my city, there are, do you remember when we saw there are and there is? We use there are with plural to indicate a lot of things or a lot of places. So in my city there are too many places. We use many for countable, okay, countable things. In this case, the places, many places, like museums, theaters, parks, etc. Okay, whatever you answer to the questions of the project. What activities can you do in your city? In my city, you can do, or I can do, I can go shopping, I can go ride a bike, I can take a bus, a touristic bus through the city, for example. So there's a lot of activities that I can do in my city. You're going to describe it, okay? What do you like about your city? What I like the most about my city, this is an example, but it's a complete answer. What I like the most about my city is that is beautiful because it has a lot of zoos or parks or museums, or there's a lot of to visit, for example, or the food. I can say about the food also. What I love about my city is because, okay, so I'm going to explain why. The number 6 says, what do you dislike about your city? Do you remember when we saw like, dislike? Yes, dislike is what I don't like about my city. So the answer will be like this. What I dislike about my city is the pollution, the traffic, that is not opportunity jobs, for example. Anything you want to say about what you don't like about shopping, I like go for a walk, etc. Using the ing next to like because it's a verb. You remember when we saw this grammatical rule the past week, okay? Very good. And then on the C section, we're going to write down a reflection, but in Spanish, from 5 to 10 lines. Okay, so we can talk about what we saw in the learning forum of the first week, and we're also talking about these topics in this last learning forum. Okay, so try to explain through these 3 fields: the personal field, the professional field, and the work field. Okay, so try to reflect about this section, and it's in Spanish, so it will be very easy to consider half a page. It will be just like 5 to 10 lines. Okay, and the final section that we're going to review, we're going to a recording. As we already know, we are at this moment we are experts in recording our audios. Okay, so we can't have any issues about this. We already practice a lot with our recordings. Okay, so we're only going to record the questions and the answers that are located on this B section. this section, the B1. Sorry. Here is the big section. Just the answers, the questions and the answers of this part B. Okay? And you also can read it. I'm going to say like, where do you live? I live in Guadalajara. How is your city? My city is beautiful because it has a lot of parks and shopping centers. What places are there in your city? In my city there are too many places. Like, what activities can you do in your city? What do you like about your city? What do you dislike about your city? And what do you do in weekends? Okay, so only this section, B section, is the one that I'm going to record. Okay, once again, there's no penalty on the rubric if you pass the time of the recording. Okay, so be chill about it. Don't worry, you don't have to do it in strictly 130 minutes. Okay. Okay, until here, you have any question of the project? Okay, Juan, you don't have to translate. It's really very easy because we already practice a lot. We already have information about what they ask here in the project through the past 3 weeks, so it will be very easy to write down the information, and of course I'll be aware of your doubts, and you can write it down anytime you want. Okay, so I guess the longest part to write down is the C section, and it's in Spanish, so it will be no problem for you to achieve this C section. Okay. Ok, me dice Sharai que la imagen que está aquí, sí, pueden colocar la imagen que ustedes quieran. No es necesario que esté exactamente esta. Creo que esta ya estaba en la plantilla, si no mal recuerdo. Estas ya están aquí integradas. Pero pues ustedes lo pueden cambiar, eso no hay ningún problema. Tampoco se evalúa conforme a la rúbrica, debo de decirlo, ¿ok? Entonces, no tengan pendiente. Por ejemplo, Sharai me daba un ejemplo o me escribía aquí un poco de duda en el mensajero con esto de la cuartilla. Ella me hacía una reflexión muy extensa y muy interesante en esta sección C. Entonces, claro, está perfecto que lo hagan en esa reflexión, y sobre todo considerando estos 3 aspectos, ¿sí? Que sea la reflexión en el ámbito personal, profesional y laboral, ¿ok? Entonces no está muy extenso, de 5 a 10 renglones no es tanto, y además es en español, ¿ok? Como el ejemplo de Sharai me gustó muchísimo. En la media cuartilla solo sería de 5 a 10 renglones, sí, Tavo, yo lo considero suficiente, que sea con sus propias palabras, ¿sí? No me tienen que investigar, ni darme datos, ni cifras, ni argumentar, ¿no? O sea, es una reflexión muy personal y además es en español, ¿ok? Las otras 2 imágenes grandes no, Sharai, no tienen que cambiar ninguna imagen si no lo desean. Así está prediseñado, preelaborado el formato. Está correcto si dejan esas o quisieran ustedes agregar otras, también está bien. ¿Cómo sería el audio para decir dónde puede decir? Ajá, el audio, lo que decía Juan hace un momento, solamente va a ser de la sección B, y podemos leer las preguntas y leer las respuestas, ¿ok? No tiene que ser platicado, podemos leer. Para decir dónde puede decir, ¿cómo? What do you like about your city? What do you do in weekends? O sea, por ejemplo aquí, in weekends I like cycling with my son. I like to go running, to go shopping, or something like this, ¿ok? Muy bien, Tavo, gracias. Ok, Juan, está correcta la respuesta, muy bien. Ok. Si no tienen alguna otra duda, voy a continuar con la presentación. De todas maneras me escriben en el mensajero y podemos ir solventando, ¿ok? Very good. So let's continue with our slides. and we're going to check out, okay, Sharai, gracias. And we're going to check out how to participate in the integrative forum. This forum is important because it's evaluated according to a rubric. It's the 8% of the total of the model. So at least I have to do 4 participations, 4, okay, every day with some suggestions, and with go additional questions about it in order to everyone can participate in this forum. Okay, so the first contribution will be like this: say hi to your classmates and introduce yourself, including your name, your city of origin, it means where you born, your age, and write about a place of interest in your place of origin. Okay, it could be the place of where you live or where you born, like we already practiced in the learning forums through the other weeks, through the past weeks. Okay, the second participation or the second contribution, I have to write down 5 direct questions to a partner to know him more. 5 questions. Okay, it will be like the examples that I'm sharing in the forum. Okay, I can ask about the city, what activities can do in the city where she or he born. Yes, what is the favorite food, what about the favorite movie, favorite songs, if what about the, I already said the favorite food, or what about what they do in the weekends, where can we go, some touristic place in the city, anything you want to ask. Okay, so just check out the grammar using WH questions and do and does that we already saw the grammatical forms in the past weeks. Okay, and check out the examples that I'm giving you every day about these questions. Okay, I'm going to write it down in a very simple grammatical way. The third participation or the third contribution. Ok, gracias Aaron por acompañarme. Buenas noches. Hi. The third contribution is we're going to answer the questions asked by our classmates. And what is going to happen if no one asks me a question, a direct question? So what I have to do is take the questions that my virtual advisor, my facilitator, it means me, I'm going to give you general questions in order to take it and answer. If you don't receive direct questions, you can take my questions to answer them and achieve the third participation. Okay, so please notice this part, because no one can leave the forum without answer the questions. Okay, and introduce, the fourth contribution is introduce at least one of the classmates you made and make one more participation. You can ask to another partner or make a conclusion in order to make 5 participations, because the rubric says at least 4, but the highest level of the rubric is going to be to make 4 or more contributions, more participations, 4 or more. So in order to achieve the 5th participation, you can ask to another partner, or you can make a conclusion of what you learned through the Model 6 at the final day of the forum. Okay, other aspect that is very important of this forum, of this last forum, is to participate in different days of the week. It's very penalized according to the rubric to make all my participations, all my contributions in one day or 2 days. So I have to be in the forum through the week. I have to be there on Monday and Wednesday and Friday and maybe Sunday. Okay, so very penalized if I do all my participations on Sunday. So it doesn't matter if I do 5 contributions, but I do it on the last day, of the week, it will be very penalized according to the rubric. So please avoid to do this. Try to be in the forum at least 3 different days of the week to make our contributions, okay? So we have to present ourselves, we have to write down 5 questions to a partner, we have to answer to those questions, or take the questions that I gave you there to ask those general questions. I have to introduce one of my classmates. It could be anyone you want, and I have to make one more participation in order to achieve the highest level of the rubric, okay? I can ask to another partner, make a conclusion, whatever I want. The 5th participation is free, but in order to make this, I can choose any topic of the point 1 to 4, okay? So it's clear, this part of the forum. Okay, thank you, Jose and Aaron, for joining me. Do you have any question about how to participate in the forum? Okay. So the suggestions for the successful closure of our Module 6. This is the last week to regularize the activities from the past units. We're going to review in a minute the times for that. So be in touch with me and our tutor. Send with anticipation your integrative project. Very punctual, please, in order to detect any technical issues or something grammatical ways. Any area of opportunity can detect it in a very punctual way, okay? Participate in the integrative forum according to the rubric that we already saw. Participate in the learning forum and do all your exercises and form activities in order to achieve the activity in the platform of the 5%. Check the grammar and avoid the translators that we already saw with Grammarly.com, Forbo, all the dictionaries we saw on the last past weeks, okay? Okay, so what about the closing times? This section, I'm going to talk about in Spanish because I have to be very clear in these times, in these instructions, okay? Y bueno, lo que está comentando Juan y Aarón cerca del temblor, todo lo que vivimos, todo lo que hemos vivido y que seguimos en el tema de la pandemia, y que quiero que sea muy claro esta parte, es por eso que lo voy a decir en español, acerca de los tiempos de cierre, ¿ok? Debo de comentar en primera instancia que nuestra supervisora de la calidad nos indica los tiempos de cierre, porque bueno, la plataforma además entra en una sesión ¿cómo puedo decir? Pues de reestructuración, ¿no? En materia de ingeniero, para poder cerrar el módulo y dar paso a los tiempos de recuperación, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces, enrolar todo este tema de usuarios electrónicamente, pues, necesita tiempo. Y es por eso que nosotros tenemos que cerrar nuestras evaluaciones muy puntualmente y ellas nos indican los tiempos realmente que tienen que ser muy, muy ajustados, ¿sí? Entonces, bueno, yo en este tema, que trato de ser muy sensible y empática con todo lo que estamos viviendo, pese a que obviamente hay los tiempos establecidos, ¿no?, que tenemos que seguir, todavía doy tiempo para regularizar actividades de semanas anteriores. Es decir, sé que algunos de ustedes no lograron, es un grupo muy disciplinado y logré muchísimas actividades en tiempo, los felicito, pero bueno, algunos que de plano no pudieron hacerlo, ¿ok? Porque hay 1000 razones válidas y que se están atrasando y que a lo mejor ya tienen cargando otros módulos atrás, ¿sí? Que no han podido aprobar y que no queremos que se les acumule uno más y vayan perdiendo este proceso ordinario en prepa en línea CEP, ¿no? Entonces, todavía es tiempo de regularizar actividades de semanas anteriores. Su tutora me ha estado contactando también con esos aspectos porque algunos de ustedes lo han comentado. Y si alguien quiere entregarlas porque no lo ha podido hacer, yo todavía doy tiempo de esto hasta el miércoles 24, es decir, el día de mañana a las 23 horas, ¿ok? Entonces, de manera que yo pueda, ustedes me notifiquen esta situación en la que estuvieron sucediéndose en las semanas anteriores y yo pueda otorgarles extensión en plataforma más tardar el domingo 28 de junio a las 13 horas, ¿ok? O sea, es la fecha límite obviamente para yo otorgar esta extensión porque Después también vendrán casos especiales de proyecto integrador, que a lo mejor alguna cuestión muy urgente, ¿sí? Que no les dio tiempo de entregar el proyecto, tendrían que contactarme a más tardar el lunes 29 por la mañana y hasta las 12 horas para yo poder otorgar ese mismo lunes la extensión hasta las 22 horas. ¿Okay? Entonces, estos aspectos también se los voy a compartir por escrito en la plataforma, pero sí quería ser muy puntual y comentarlos en español para que cualquiera que después también pueda checar esta sesión tenga muy en claro cuáles son los tiempos que voy a manejar de acuerdo a nuestro supervisor de la calidad y de acuerdo a mi forma de trabajo también, siendo muy empáticos con todas las situaciones que estamos viviendo para que tengan oportunidad de regularizar y no arrastrar más módulos, ¿ok? ¿Qué pasará entonces? El módulo 6 va a terminar el domingo 28 de junio a las 23:55 horas y a más tardar el día martes 30 de junio por la noche yo estaré terminando de evaluar el proyecto, el foro de integración, y culminando este proceso voy a enviarles un mensaje en el foro y en el mensajero plataforma para que consulten su portafolio de evidencias y realicen una captura de pantalla de su calificación final. ¿Okay? Esto porque, bueno, los registros en SIGAPREP tardan de 15 a 30 días para estar ahí definitivos, entonces ese es el respaldo de su calificación hasta en tanto aparezca de manera definitiva, ¿ok? Entonces, chicos, ya saben, acá están los tiempos de cierre, por favor siéntanse libres de contactarme para poder regularizar cualquier situación y en caso de que tuviéramos una situación muy extraordinaria con el proyecto, pues también adelante, ¿ok? Ok, Aaron, muchas gracias. Bueno, me da mucho gusto saber eso. Trato de ser lo más puntual posible, detallado para ayudarlos. Y bueno, en estos módulos yo sé que habemos muchísimos, ya que desarrollan muchísimo el idioma inglés. Tengo alumnos incluso en este módulo que viven en Canadá, en Estados Unidos. Entonces, bueno, pues en estos casos hay que contribuir mucho más, ¿no? Porque ya tienen un conocimiento mucho más amplio y bueno, los felicito. También está mucho de su parte como estudiantes, ustedes como alumnos, para que puedan lograr realmente las competencias que están pensadas, ¿no? Entonces, no solamente basta este lado de la pantalla, sino que ustedes también vale mucho su esfuerzo que hacen cada día por cumplir con todas sus actividades y sus roles profesionales, familiares, y además pues este tema académico, ¿ok? Entonces, pues muchas gracias a ustedes por haberme acompañado. Ya me estoy despidiendo anticipadamente, pero bueno, ya después nos comunicaremos en el mensajero de plataforma y en el foro de manera muy apropiada, ¿ok? Okay, so what about the additional resources? We already have it in the news forum and on the learning forum. I suggest to this last week and also for the continuing with the practicing of the English language, the language tool is an application to improve the grammar, and also a dictionary on the Cambridge. We already know the Fluent U, all the videos, the lectures that we already saw on the first week. Please practice and practice a lot, as lot as you can. And I also have the Oxford University Press. It's an online exercises to give you words to form a question and you have to put them in order. So it's very simple, but also very educational, okay? Very simple to structure and to understand how to form the questions in English, okay? So I recommend it a lot. Okay, Juan and Aaron, thank you. So this is a space for doubts. We already saw some doubts during the session, but you already know that this session it will be recorded in the news forum, on the calendar on the platform, and on the messenger of the platform too. That I already sent you the link of this session to review it, and I'll be aware during these weeks and of course during these days, and of course very close to the closure of our module 6. So I have to thank you for that. Some of the regular questions I already told you. You have to write down complete sentences, some of the meanings of the sentences, of the questions. It's a personal blog, but you have to consider that it's a touristic blog. So give information about what you really love about your city. Think about that. You're going to express to another person that is going to visit your city. Okay, it's a project. We're going to review the topics, the grammatical notions, the grammatical forms and ways that we already saw through the model. So take in mind that points and you'll be very successful in your project. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Juan. In a better year, of course. Okay, Tavo, thank you. I hope so, maybe. It's very possible. And thank you all, yes. We already been in touch. Did you have my personal email? So we can be in touch anyway if we have it in other models or not. I'll be for you anywhere, anytime you want. Okay? Thank you for anything. Thank you for joining me tonight. Aaron, Adamari, Tavo, Sharai, Juan, of course, Aaron, Kireina, Jose. I already said Tavo, yes.